Gonna wait. I think this is gonna take a little while. I'm not sure. I hope the camera turned out good. It's a little bright in here and it's off color and I look maybe a little funny, but whatever. It's nice and sunny and I just love life today. So, yeah, just a brief update on what's been going on in Canada and the area called Saskatchewan. It's actually kind of amusing, not amusing and amusing all at the same time. So, if you haven't been aware and you're in another country, we've recently across Canada have experienced repetitive emergency alerts looking for these two gentlemen. And one of the gentlemen, thanks to Sarah Connor on Telegram, I appreciate your channel very much. She has done some investigating in other channels and has posted basically that one of the two people is outing certain detachments of the RCMP for having gas chambers and their establishments. These are the corporate people with guns that are enforcing some not very nice laws right now to some of the prisoners. So one of these two people was a whistleblower, and the other one, I believe, is in hiding right now. So I find that it's caused a ripple effect. Like if you actually do some investigation, the amount of updates and when it happened and where it is and what the person said on their TikTok, it's all really very interesting and relevant as to what's going on across the world. So a lot of things are happening. There's a lot of revelations in a local North American media. I know Fox News is just plastering the truth everywhere, especially about the, I hope I don't get, it shouldn't be, oh, it's just 222, about the ELECTIONSs and how the couple 3-letter agencies are involved in that. So, and now Mr. DJT is posting a lot of really active stuff. So some of the people that I talk to, because I've literally, as you know, I haven't been on here very much, and I also haven't been on Telegram. I've been doing a lot of paddle boarding and rafting with my friends and families, and just connecting with nature and enjoying my summer as much as possible. So I haven't really participated, but a lot of things. So first of all, friends in Calgary have witnessed many fighter jets with missiles attached to them flying overhead at about 3 in the afternoon yesterday afternoon and on the weekend. And one set was green and the other one was white, I believe. So that's going on and they're very loud. Today, my friend out and I out in the country here witnessed what I would call an eraser mark cloud. It was like somebody took an Etch-a-Sketch and just drew like cloud, like little rectangular door cloud in front of us, like I don't know, 30, 40 miles away. It was like, we're like, do you see that happening? We're both looking at it going, what the heck? My friend in Red Deer this morning took a picture of the two suns. So there's a lot of things happening. Like, so one of my friends mentioned that in the military movement of the 17th letter, there was a thing mentioned done in 30. Somebody mentioned 30 months. That's on 3 days from now, September 9th, 9/9. And then my thoughts were like, I clicked into that moment and I'm like, hey, that's 2 days before the other date of 9/11. So DJT said in 2020, we were done 2 days early. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with something very important about to be revealed. So there's a fellow, I don't know his name, please forgive me. He was on David Nino's channel and he's talking about the 21 gun salute and the fact that DJT is still has always been the president, and what's happening and what that looks like and why it looks like that, and certain actions and whatever. So there's a lot that's being discovered and discussed, and some of the people that I'm talking to that oh yay, happy birthday almost, Mary. It's my son's birthday today, my youngest. And so basically, what I think is happening is there's a big shift now with in the UK, do not pay UK as of October 1st. I think Russell Brandt's behind that. I'm like, I wonder if he's going to be threatened with being arrested or questioned for telling people not to pay their electricity bills. It's a logical question. I'm just seriously asking. So, there's a bunch of people in the UK that are getting slammed in Czechoslovakia and Prague. I've been there, actually, a beautiful city. 70,000 people stormed on Saturday the streets because of the electricity bills being jacked up. So what we're seeing, and I know we saw a bit of it in Calgary last year and across Alberta, in our province at least, where people's electricity and gas bills went from 200 to 600. So I'm wondering if this has to be experienced by each place's consciousness. So when we have free electricity, it gets integrated into our DNA a different way. I don't know where we know. I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Are we getting more people to co-create a better reality because of the ugly reality that's happening in 3D? So the 3D ugly reality will continue on. Like there's going to be a person, not me in my consciousness, but there's going to be another timeline that continues on that is always running parallel to ours. And the more I'm learning, the less I know, as we all know. But I have been, oh, and they doubled in Ireland too. Okay. Yeah. So I'm wondering if the world, like, this has always been my thought. And even 2 years ago, I'm like, yeah, what happens when people just get out of their cars and leave them stranded in the streets because the gas prices are too high? Then the country's forced to do something. What happens if everybody just doesn't pay their electricity for 2 months? Does that system collapse? And then going back a couple of shows, we learned that the Supreme Court in the United States said you don't need a driver's license anymore. And that's part of the STRAW man account. I can't say some certain words, so yes, that our birth certificates are attached to. So I'm wondering if all of these things be experienced in our consciousness in DNA to integrate lessons of what we're able to co-create. So if everybody participated, say on October 1st in the UK, everybody participated, even normies participated in this do not pay because they can't afford it. Not because someone told them, but because it's ridiculous and nobody can afford it. And it's a corporation just blindly jacking up. It's literally like a form of loan sharking to me or something like that. So I'm wondering if our consciousness has to experience a sort of place where, as a collective, we need to relinquish control from our oppressors and take control of ourselves, like from our DNA that's actually been ignited this whole time, where I think we're all galactically connected from the office of the Christ, and we're all coming back here as part of this cosmic collective taking down of the bad people. So what I'm wondering, is this the point where we're getting so close that we're manifesting a higher reality based on the fact that the 3D one has collapsed just on a basic level of needs being met in what people would now think, okay, well, Canada's a first world country. We're not in Africa. We shouldn't be homeless. That's people's mentality. But if everybody loses their electricity, the electricity is dependent on this, and then people get kicked out and now they're homeless. Like, there's been a whole bunch of people in 2 years that have been homeless in Canada that weren't expecting to be homeless, literally one paycheck away from being homeless. So, or the last 30 months. So, this is what I'm wondering. Is our collective consciousness focusing on the right stuff right now? Because I bet you if we turned around the fear of, oh my goodness, our electricity bills are so high, to, wait a second, we can co-create a reality where electricity bills don't exist at all because we have free electricity. And those of us that know the NESARA and GS, you know what I'm saying, where patents get released, we have med beds that heal us and all of these things. I'm wondering if we're not focusing on the wrong things, and some of these things aren't distraction, just like the Saskatchewan thing. So when I heard the boop, I was like, oh yeah, testing again. That's all I thought. What are they testing? What are they testing us to lower our vibrations? So the Saskatchewan alerts, or across Canada alerts, what are people doing right now across Canada? They're harvesting in the farms and fields. They're nowhere near a television set. So there's no control from a television set over your mind. And when you're in the field harvesting, you're pretty happy. It's a great season. I saw way more hay bales out there than I've seen in a long time. Like, a lot of farmers have had pure abundance this year. So the lower vibrations are trying to attack us on some energetic level by these alerts and these false flags and these disruptions in our collective consciousness. So instead of the lack mentality that we've all been programmed, um, uh, yeah, instead of getting all of our energies attacking by the 3D, we should be taking more of our control back, and standing in our power, and just literally having more time spent not worrying and manifesting that higher timeline. And I keep saying that, but are we really every day waking up and saying, I love you, whatever your name is? Are you practicing that? Are we practicing health and wealth and abundance for all, like repeatedly over and over again, instead of thinking of our worries? Are we sitting in sadness? Because I know I am right now on some level, feeling about all the people who were suckered in the last 2 years and now have come to a sad realization about their health. So we need all of us that are participating right now, listening. I know you're here in my vibration and I know you can hear me. I think it's really important for all of us to stand together and dismiss those things that have triggered us into the sadness, and be like, no, that's not my sadness to own right now. I know I've seen the reality in the future where we're all free. We've all co-created a place where we have access to anything that we can dream of. We have our junk DNA cleaned up. We move from 4%, 5% DNA, where we're at now, to 100%, where we're godlike creators. So, and yeah, it is, Sonia, you're actually right. You go back from one timeline to another. So for me, example, like, I'm trying to manifest a house to live in right now, and in the place that I live in. And I'm just going to explain my personal situation so you can understand how important it is for me right now. Part of me has this oh my goodness, what if this happens? What if that happens? Da 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 da. Can I do this? Can I do that? And the other part of me is like, no, I can afford to have this mortgage. I can afford to do these things. This is where I'm supposed to be. It's creating a space for me. This is how I co-created my reality, is by moving from step to step to step, you know? And so I've always believed in everything will work out. But there's still that 3D part of me that's like, okay, like I'm stressing because of the situation just numerically. Like, honestly, and I know how the system works, so it pisses me off that I even think like that. I'm like, okay, so a mortgage is got, they need you to have house insurance and then house insurance. And like, literally, it's just so the mortgage people are protected, that if something happens to the mortgage, they're going to get their money. And if the house burns down, the people get their money. Like, it's just all a bunch of huckabaloo. Because what your mortgage company actually does when you sign that piece of paper is they sell that mortgage. They just service it and they sell it to the insurance company. I swear to God, that's what happens. It's just a chain of money that goes around. So that's one chain I really want to focus on breaking, so it's easier. And physically, I see this, paradigm where we're always used to giving everybody money upwards up the ladder, and we're not even on the ladder, right? We don't even belong in that ladder because we're the infinite loop. We're the infinite loop of energy that creates our matrix. So, am I creating hassle for myself by worrying about the 3D? Because that's kind of co creating it. Let's be honest, okay? When I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and then it happens, then, then it happens. So, but my big reality, I'm like, well, in NESARA, all debts are forgiven, and there are no such things as lines of credit, credit cards, mortgages, student loans, all gone. So that's my other part, where I know money is just energy. So I have to go through now a couple of 3D basic hoops, I guess, to energetically find a place for myself while I transition through this other place. So, and that's what I'm thinking is like, if I focus on that, it's just energy and I only have to do XYZ to get this energy, then everything will be fine. I know everything will be fine. I've been much worse financial. It's not like this is a bad financials. That's not what I'm saying. It's not like it's even stressful, but it's just like we're at this tipping point where that world is fake, but we still have to participate in it, and that's the frustrating part for me. I have to take my 3D character avatar that I just really shed off a whole bunch of years ago and like put it back on for a little bit to deal with the stuff, and I'm like, it's going to be abundant. Everything is going to be fine. Blessings and I'm where I'm supposed to be and everything happens for a reason. Da 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 da. So what I believe is all of us should be focusing more about creating the house instead of creating all the things that could go wrong with building the house, right? So that goes to our health too. So if you focus on yourself as a healthy person over and over again, and you're sending yourself loving vibrations and you're doing self-care, like I've been doing a lot of cleansing, and I've been doing a lot of like river. I've been on the river quite a bit because I find that's a place for healing. I've seen so many amazing animals. Oh, and a dragonfly with a broken wing literally landed in my hair while I was with Taco and her family and took a ride on my hair for half an hour down the river. It was beautiful. So, and even when I was staying in the city for a couple of weeks, cat sitting my son's cat, I had to go on the river quite a few times, and I never slept the whole time. So I definitely know that I should be in the country. I definitely know this is the area for me in a small town, around all my friends. So super important to find out what makes you happy every day and find bliss in it and co-create a better reality. Like, even if it's like the simplest things of, oh yeah, I forgot to ground today. I got to go put my feet in the grass for 15 minutes, you know? But guess what I'm doing while I'm talking to you guys? Card reading. I just pulled two. But I think it's super important to keep focusing on the higher places instead of all the negative things that people try and distractions that people are taking you down. Even some of these news articles that are coming out that may or may not contain photos of myself. Okay. If you're listening, hello, hello. You know who I'm talking about, 4-letter agency. Um, just read them and redact all of the verbs out of there. And then you can see really the truthful information of what is being told. I'm like, hello, is anybody else seeing this? So, yes. Yeah. Yeah, not worry about renewing. Yes, paying off taxes. Blech. Yes, I know that life, Wanda. It's not a good life to be in. So we're going to try and manifest and co-create this higher timeline where we all jump out of that reality, you know, where we can say that, ooh, that one's got some activity to it. It's got a little ripple in it. So that's interesting. And I even got my glasses. Da, 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 da. Okay, the two cards on one side. Okay, I'm not even going to lie to you. I've pulled my cards 4 times. I read them for my friend last night, and these 2 cards have come out again. And you are going to frickin' laugh your ass off when you hear these cards. The Merlin and the Bard. Alchemy and storytelling. What story are we telling ourselves to co-create a reality? That's beautiful. Whoop, whoop. And the one on the other side. Oh, I'm going to cry. I'm just going to cry. So I just think that's an actual most majestic, beautiful card reading for today's topic at 2244 and 77. Look at all these duplicate numbers. So I do believe in the highest manifestation for all right now and the highest timeline for all. So think of all of these people that we've learned stuff, either other truthers or people on the media, or even some of the big names that are out there, you know, being the tip of the spear, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Think about all the information that has been absorbed into our DNA in the last 30 months. You guys can pretty much talk about any topic to anyone at any time based on what you've learned in your last 30 months of reality. Go on, admit that, and take credit for that because you've integrated pretty much every lesson that has been thrown at us. Now is the important time to start co-creating that health and wealth and abundance for all, and gently easing people into the point where they have their own reality, where they're learning their own truths. It doesn't matter what any of us said over the last 30 months. Really, it doesn't. When my 2 children that have been double medicated come to me and ask me for help, I certainly am not going to turn them away, and neither should anybody else. So that's, you know, yeah, we made jokes about it, but it's no laughing matter now. It's like freaking serious. We're kind of joking people into not taking it, but now it's like, wow, okay, there's this big thing going on. So I also believe in this co-creation, and hear me clearly when I say this, please. And this is purely my opinion, but I do believe it to be 1,000% true. especially based on those card readings. We have ultimate co-creative and healing ability to not only heal ourselves, but talk to the higher selves of our loved ones. We don't have to talk to them physically in their 3D, but their higher selves, and co-create that healthy timeline for them over and over again. Bring back all the funny things that you had in common with that person, whether it's your kids or your husband or your wife or your sister, brothers, whatever. Talk about all of the happy memories. Nothing divisive, okay? The reason being is that's how we love. That's how we love unconditionally. So we have to talk about love in a way of happiness and remembering. That's going to trigger a lot of people into healing themselves and knowing that they're accepted no matter what, based on whatever they did the last 2 years. People don't like to hear they're wrong, and people do not like to hear that they've been suckered their whole life. I certainly didn't. So this is the time where love wins really hard. Love wins, love wins, love wins. We can't be shaming people. We can't be guilting people. We can't be blaming people. Those are all under your heart vibration. If it's not love and above, it's not for me, remember? So please surround everyone in compassion. That's the number one thing we can offer right now, and understanding and our empathy, no matter what they chose, because it's been a frustrating, struggling last few 30 months for a lot of people. But I think about energetically the billions of years and the millions of billions of lifetimes we've come back to try and affect so much change. And now we do know how powerful we are in our own realities and co-creation. So I think it's perfect time to put it all to practice. And so I'm sending all of you the happiest of blessings. I love my life. I love this community that's creating outside of the city, and we are very supportive of each other and loving, and I think everybody needs to do that. I really do believe in the power of community, the power of healing and compassion, and the power of manifestation and co-creation. We are so powerful. That is why they've tried to hold us down. I always knew we were powerful, but I really didn't grasp until the last year how freaking powerful all of us are. So please put that to practice every day. Like, please stop yourself of whatever worry and say, no, that's the phantom matrix worry. I'm manifesting a higher reality where I'm happy, living in my happy house, and there's abundance for all, and healing for all, and love for all, even the darkness, because it's up to us to surround that darkness in love. That's how we kill them. Kill them with kindness, remember? So love wins every time. Let's keep practicing it. So thank you, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful, whatever day it is, Tuesday. And I'm going to go make sure that my son gets his little gifts that I sent him. He's not watching this anyways. I sent him, well, a couple of other little gifts, but I sent him those 2 Star Trek encyclopedias that I found. Like, they literally tell everything, and he loves Star Trek. So, and I also bought him a Star Wars action figure. It's how kind of how I see him. And I had a funny story to tell you, just share with you all, just because it's my son's birthday, and this is how cute I think him and his girlfriend are. So him and his girlfriend live together in a high rise, like, and it's like in the loudest place in Calgary. I swear to God, it is literally the loudest place in Calgary. And I used to live in this apartment a long time ago, but they live up, I think, on the 18th floor, and then there's 8 floors of parking. So about 26, 27 floors up. So they, like I said, he's into Star Wars. So he went and purchased 2 authentic lightsabers that attach into one lightsaber like Darth Maul, right? And, when him and his girlfriend get into a little argument, you know what they do? They take those lightsabers all the way down to the parkade at night, and they have a little lightsaber fight in the parking lot for these 4 or 5 apartment buildings that can look at them. It's like this total nerd show. It's really funny. I think it's hilarious, but anyways, yeah. So, very funny. But, happy birthday, Darlene, and, yeah, I wish everybody, wellness and health on, their happy days. So, just enjoy yourself, be very childlike, and protect yourself in divine love and light, and protect those around you, and then start tapping in so you can co-create that reality right away. So, thank you very much. I love you all. Bye.